Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a few months since the last time y'all have seen me. I fished a few times this summer, not like I normally do, and fish really wasn't biting, honestly. And it seems like this summer it's just been so hot and all that, so I pretty much scrapped fishing for now. I'll return to it in the fall when the bite turns on real good for the saugeye and walleye and stuff like that. But today I wanted to focus on a gear dump. I did one of these about 5 years ago, back when I first started the channel, but I did one for squirrel and dove. Today we're going to just be focusing on squirrel setup, from the rifle to my clothing to calls, the whole nine. I'm going to go over everything and yeah, just pretty much let you all know what I take to the woods, and maybe you want to either downgrade or upgrade your gear for this upcoming hunting season. We're officially 1 month from squirrel season, and I cannot wait. As of the making of this video, we have 30 days. So I'm going to start with pretty much the basics. Some of this stuff I didn't feel like grabbing and taking down here and stuff like that. I got it up there in the room, so I did bring down a vest, a hunting bag that I also carry because I'm a filmer, so obviously I like to carry extra stuff for camera equipment and all that, which, like I said, we'll get into that. But nonetheless, if I don't have it on me, I'll just pop a picture up on your all's screen so you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. But we're going to start with the basic. This is a bottomland squirrel hunting vest, or game vest, I guess, because I mean you can shoot rabbits and put them in here, birds, doves, etc., and all that. It's lightweight, which is perfect for early season hunting. And late season, I have other clothes, suits and everything else that I put on, and then I throw this vest right over it. But this is all around a must-have. Every time I hunt, I always carry it with me so I don't have to pack the squirrels in my hand and all that, because that stuff can get pretty annoying. I've had to do it in the past. So I think it's been 2 years ago I picked up this vest, and I've been happy with it ever since. This vest here, it's got some shot shell holders, and I'll actually give you all a close-up. You can stuff some shotgun shells in it. It has two little front pockets, nothing really special in them. But typically what I do when I hunt with an air rifle, I always carry pellets in one of these. And also, I'll go into it in here in a second, but I also put something else in this pocket that's very important that I don't go anywhere without. But other than that, it's just a basic vest. It just has two pouches on each side, and then you got your game pouch in the back. And you know, 6 squirrels fit in there, perfect. They're not heavy, and also cool thing about this one is you can go in from the front, and it's really annoying. I hunt by myself a lot, so when I'm killing squirrels, I'm trying to put them in my back. It's just annoying. You know, they're always falling on the ground and stuff like that. So with this one, I can just slide them right here in the front, and we're good to go. So that pretty much covers the vest. Now, another really important thing that I'm gonna tell y'all now is your camo pattern. Now a lot of people are gonna say, oh, I don't care, I hunt squirrels in blue jeans, I hunt squirrels in this, that, and the other. Well, that's all right. But I'm here to tell you, when you hunt squirrels in a particular block of woods for an X amount of years, 2 or 3 years, eventually they get smart. And I'm talking about very smart. So what I like to do early season is I rock bottomland camo. It's perfect, it blends me in. The woods are still pretty green, and this is my favorite camo pattern for turkey too. It just blends me into oak trees and everything else, which is what I usually hunt, and acorn trees. Obviously for squirrels, that's where you want to be. So this thing really blends me in. Now, when we switch over into the fall, at least for this season, what I'm going to do different is, I had a lot of squirrels seeing me last year when all the leaves was off with this outfit. And I got to thinking, like, man, how are they seeing me so much? So what I ended up doing is I set this exact camera up, and I got clear back up against the tree, and I just looked at my outline on the camera, and I stuck out like a sore thumb. Well, just so happened I had a real tree shirt, and it was a fall pattern. I put it on, and literally you could see my bottomland pants, but up here was just vanished. So this season what I'm going to do is I'm going to rock a little bit of mossy oak and real tree together. So when the leaves are falling off, I'm going to have all real tree on, and then when the leaves are still on in early season like this, I'm going to stick with my baby, my bottomland. And all in all, this camo just looks awesome. I've always been attracted to this type of camo. I like the original old school bottomland. I honestly think the pattern's better than this. Nonetheless, that will pretty much cover that. This video is probably going to be a shorter video than what y'all's used to, but don't worry, because when squirrel season comes in, I'm going to be pumping out content. I just made a brand new intro, and matter of fact, I'll probably go ahead and just roll it in. I don't know, I'm actually going to save it. We're just going to wait until opening day of squirrel season to roll that in. So another thing that y'all will always see me carry when I'm squirrel hunting is a little fanny pack type deal. This right here holds all my camera equipment, my extra batteries, even extra ammo. If I'm running low in a tin can already, I'll just throw some more in here, and even extra magazines, etc. This is just another little extra pouch. And if we open it up here, I also carry these little Dollar Tree or Walmart bags, whatever you want to call them. I carry these because a lot of times, believe it or not, that's supposed to be a waterproof or water resistant type vest to where the blood won't seep through, but it does. It can get pretty nasty in there. So what I'll typically do is when I harvest my squirrels, I'll take a bag like this, 2 or 3 of them, or one, and then stuff 2 or 3 squirrels in it, and I'll wrap it up and then stick it down in the pouch. That'll keep blood from seeping through and getting on my back and all over my clothes and stuff like that. We come right here to the front pouch, just a little front zipper. This thing's an old bag. It's an old Remington bag. It's been out for years, but this is where I keep all my collars. I have a soldier squirrel call made by Quaker Boy, and it just, and I'll tell y'all now, you might hear me hit this in a video 1 time a year. I never really use this. This is a last minute Hail Mary. I'm about to leave the woods and I ain't had no luck all morning, and I'll just hit this and hopefully get a response. That's what this call is for. If you're trying to keep the squirrels on ease and not spook them, don't use this, because as soon as you use this, squirrels are on high alert. They're going up trees, they're barking everywhere, and they're watching for a hawk or danger and stuff like that. So if y'all ever wanted to get a squirrel barking collar, just know it's not the best idea. I'm actually about to show you the #1 best call in the whole entire world, in my opinion. I've never seen a better squirrel call than it. This is sometimes what I hang up for thumbnails. This is just more of a video thing. I kind of wrap the squirrel's feet around it and then hang them up and get my thumbnails and stuff for videos. So it's really not important. But yeah, nonetheless, I mean, you could carry squirrels. We've carried them like this before, especially back in the day before I even went and bought a pouch. I used to always have just rabbit hunting pouches, and I didn't wear them because squirrels just seemed to see me way easier. So I used to take these and tie it around their feet and walk with them. And it was actually pretty simple to carry them like that, but mostly that's just for filming. Now, when it comes to the greatest squirrel call of all time, and I actually have a video dedicated directly for this right here. Y'all go check it out. It's probably about 2 videos ago, I'm pretty sure I went over it. And pretty much it's 2 quarters and you literally rub them together. I've killed so many squirrels, and I know some people will be laughing at this, but I promise you, on everything, you will kill squirrels with this method. I don't care if it's late season or early season, but late season it tends to be 10,000 times better than what it does on early season. And here's my thinking about it. They hear this during late season and they say, oh, well, this squirrel's eating a nut or whatever, I'm gonna go take it from him. Because if you watch, even during the little squirrel rut that happens, a lot of times the squirrel will just be eating and all of a sudden want to come barreling at it and try to take the food from him and all that. And a lot of times when you're doing this, and I literally in that video, I showcased it happening in real time, multiple times, and a lot of them I didn't even catch on camera, but I managed to catch quite a bit of them on camera and was able to bring it out to you all. But nonetheless, every time you would do this, the squirrels would run up literally right at your feet. Or it can also happen as you're not seeing anything. You're sitting there and you've been there for an hour in that one spot and you're kind of still hunting, so you're moving 150 yards and you're sitting down, and then you sit there for an hour and you get up and move again. But before you get up and leave, I recommend take your 2 quarters, rub them together, and I'll give you all a close up here. You're gonna take them, you got the rough edge right here and a rough edge right here. You're gonna rub the rough edges. And I can't tell y'all how many times I've sat there and not seen nothing, and I did that, and squirrels come out. Literally just pop out of nothing. And I've killed them. And everyone that hunts with me, I've made every one of them a believer. When I first told them, everyone laughed at me and said, nah. But I guarantee if I was to bring, there's not very many of them, but if I was to bring a couple of my buddies in here right now, and you asked them, they'll all tell you 100% that works. It's hands down the best squirrel call I've ever seen. And I actually took it from an old timer on YouTube, just scrolling around and seeing that he was using this. You can also use an empty shotgun haul and do the same thing. I guess it's a little bit louder. But me personally, I just stick to the quarters. I don't want to carry a bunch of empty shot show hauls in my bag. But when it comes to the quarters, I always keep like $10 worth in the front, because out there I'm usually calling, and then hands are so cold in the wintertime, I'm dropping them, so I just grab more. But nonetheless, that covers up the front pouch. I also, for camera equipment, I carry a little lens cleaner. What I typically do during late season is I wear a face mask to also keep me warm. This is just a bottomland camo, and when it comes to my mask, I don't really care what type of pattern I'm rocking. I don't care if it's Realtree or if it's bottomland camo. So this fall, you'll probably see me have Realtree outfit on with the bottomland mask. Gloves, same way. These are just some Primos, old gloves. These things are back in the 90s, and they're super thin, which I don't like thick gloves for hunting because my trigger is not very big. So when I'm trying to pull it and shoot, my hands are all in the way. I got big fingers anyway, so nonetheless, that sucks. So when it comes to the mask and the gloves, them's really not important. Anything can do, and really you don't even need them for squirrel, but like I said, the squirrels that I hunt, they've been hunted for years and they're smart. Before we get into the camera equipment, the last thing I have is just a Vortex rag. I could keep it to cover up my camera and stuff if it starts to snow on me and all that. But other than that, none of that stuff's really important. As of now, I'm just blubbering to the camera. But for the camera that always captures my third-person view, this is just a GoPro Hero 5 Session. I actually got this gifted to me back when I first started the channel. I couldn't afford camera equipment and stuff like that, and a buddy literally had this thing in a pack, brand new. He said, hey, you want, come get the camera and you can have it. And I thank him still this day for that. And nonetheless, this thing works fine. It freezes up sometimes when it's super cold. Sorry, y'all, I got a little bit of a cold. So anyway, so every once in a while, me and this thing get into it, and it usually wins. It makes me mad, and I just throw it back in the bag and depend on the camera that you're always looking at right now. But like I said, it's a GoPro Hero 5 Session. Back then it was like 300 bucks. I'm not sure the price of them now, but it ain't going anywhere, and I'm not really going to upgrade anytime soon. I almost bought one just because I always want a camera up in front of me, and I wanted one right here. But then again, I'm out there hunting. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'm out there to hunt. I'm out there to fill my freezers, stuff like that. So this should just do for now. I don't plan on upgrading. And for the camera that y'all's currently watching me on, and that's what I zoom in on all the squirrels and everything else with, it's a Panasonic HD, full HD, HC V770. And like I said, I'll have the picture up on y'all's screen so you can definitely see it good, and it does outstanding. When I first got it, I thought it was really good, but then I started playing around with the settings and stuff, and now I absolutely love the video that it takes. I might change some more settings because over the summer when I was doing air rifle reviews and I was in the sun a lot, I kept fooling with the video on it and all that, so I might have to switch that by the second or third episode of the squirrel hunting series, but I think it's going to do fine the way it is. But other than that, that's pretty much my clothing. I rock muck boots when it comes with my footwear. Just some bottomland muck boots, nothing special about them. But now we'll go into my baby. This is the rifle, my squirrel getter. This is what I've killed all my squirrels with, and this is what I still hunt with to this day. Now I will say I have, when it comes to squirrel rifles, a variety. I got 17s, 22 Magnums, 22s. Dad actually just went and picked up 22 short that I might take out squirrel hunting. I just ain't decided yet, but I definitely have an old 22 that I'm going to be bringing out, 22 Magnum this year and trying it. But 95% of my hunts that you all see is filmed with the Air Venturi 25 caliber PCP air rifle. This thing out to 40 yards is an absolute tack driver, and it would drive tacks even farther than that, but I always sight it in at 30, and it's spot on at 30, and even at 40, it's right there every single time. Now, when it comes to the optic, I just have a simple 3x9x40. I used to have a giant it was a 6x18x50 or something like that. It was huge. And the problem that I have with that is a lot of my squirrels, when I'm shooting them, is right on top of me. I'm not shooting squirrels way across the ridges and stuff like that with this. So I'd have trouble focusing the crosshairs and stuff on the squirrels this close, and by the time I got everything set up from the camera to the rifle and all that, squirrel will be gone. So what I did at the end of season last year is I went ahead and bought a Saboni 3x9x40 off of eBay, slapped it on here. It has 0 reset turns, which I don't need because, like I said, I only shoot 40 yards. And the bipods are only for looks. I do not hunt with these bipods on this rifle. I just kind of brought them down here so I can set the gun down without damaging the wood. The wood grain is laminate, as you all can see. This is a red-blue laminate wood stock. I also have a video up on the channel. The squirrel calling video, I put this together in that video, and y'all, if you want, you can go back and watch it. And I took the old stock off and put this thing on, and I love it. Made the rifle pretty heavy. It's coming around about 6 pounds, somewhere in there. But the cool thing about the Air Venturis are, they're all drilled and tapped for slings. So just throw that baby on my shoulder, she's good to go. Another crucial thing when it comes to a squirrel scope that I must have on all my squirrel rifles if I can, I want a front parallax adjustment. I think that's the name of it. Anyway, it's all yardage. So if I'm shooting at 20 yards, I flip this over to 20. My crosshairs will be visible so good, and the scope will be so clean at 20. If I'm shooting 50, I pull it over to 50, stuff like that. That's just a must-have. I'll never go back to a fixed scope. I want that on all my rifles. And this rifle here is also cool because it holds 8 in the magazine, and it's a side lever. And the cool thing about this rifle that I always take over 22, 17, stuff like that, is the noise. This rifle is super, super quiet. And I'm telling you right now, you can sit under a tree and just pick multiple squirrels out. As of there's situations, I know if I had a 17 or 22, 2 or 3 squirrels and they're gone. Even with this, they kind of get a little jumpy, and this thing's silent. Dang near next to silent. It's pushing, with the setup I have right now, I'm shooting 62 foot-pounds of energy, and it's shooting, I just shot it through the chronograph the other day, it was 927 FPS, and average was a little over 900 FPS. The ammo I'm shooting is a JTS Dead Centers. This is 25.39 grain. This is what this thing tack drives with. Last year I hunted with JSB something. I'll pop a picture up on your screen. I can't remember quite, but nonetheless, I hunted with those last year. They got the job done. I killed multiple squirrels with them, but they just didn't shoot as accurate. They were good enough to head shoot squirrels, which obviously I did multiple times, but these things, I will literally put anything up on a target at 30 yards where it's sighted in at, and you can put it out there at 40, and I'll cut the same hole every single time. It's insane. The only downside to this is it holds air. It's a PCP, you fill it up here on the top, you got a regulator on the side, then you got your pressure gauge on this side. You fill that up to the max, and I get roughly right around with this exact rifle and the setup that I have currently, pellets and all, I'm wanting to say I get 32 or 33 consecutive shots. Once you pass that mark, your pellets are hitting pretty much dead center every time, but they just keep dropping. They'll just dead center, dead in line, but they'll just keep dropping lower and lower and lower, and you start losing velocity, your foot pounds of energy, all that crucial stuff. Another good way to know is, I know this rifle is regulated and is set dead on this regulator right now. As soon as it's not, it will hit the 2 mark, and I know I need to go home and air. But like I said, I know the rifle like the back of my hand, so in a way, I already know 3 mags, it's time to head home. Our limit here in Ohio is only 6 squirrels a day, so if I need to shoot 36 times, then it's time to go home anyway because something's wrong with my rifle. That pretty much covers it. I want to thank each and everyone out there that stuck around and didn't unsubscribe to the channel and stuff like that and just stuck it out with me. And like I said, there's plenty of content that's going to be coming across. Some of y'all have been over on the gaming channel. I have a gaming channel, Huntfishohio Gaming, and it's been doing super good. We've been getting tons of views on it and stuff like that. And I just knew sooner or later I had to come down here and do a video, get a video out there to y'all and let y'all know that squirrel season is coming, and I'm pumped and I cannot wait to be out there. But hopefully today's video helped some of y'all out there. Maybe this is your first year ever going squirrel hunting and you need to know what you want to buy and stuff like that. Like I said, when it comes to the rifle, there's so many squirrel rifles and they all work, but I stick to a PCP because it's, like I said, silent, still deadly as can be, just as deadly as your 22 or your 17. Now, am I going to shoot hole for hole like a 17 at 100 yards with this? I ain't gonna lie to y'all, not with these pellets right here, I don't think. I can keep it close, but it's not going to be hole for hole like a little 17 or something like that would. But like I said, who needs a 100-yard shot on a squirrel anyway? I'm always 30 yards and under. That's the whole game for squirrel hunting to me, is getting that close to them. I want to literally look them in their eyes, so sounds awful, but anyway, this has been your host Trey with Huntfishohio Outdoors. I hope you all enjoyed today's episode. If y'all did, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification so when I do start uploading these squirrel videos, y'all get notified. This is going to be the last video until September the 1st because I film on September the 1st and upload on September the 1st, opening day of squirrel season. I made it a tradition last year that I was going to film on the first day and upload whether I got anything or not. I was just going to do it, and I did it for 2 years now, so keep that tradition on rolling. So until next time, it's been your host Trey, and I hope to see you all on the next one.